Hey guys, today on Beyond ARTV, I'm going to be chatting with Erica from BLONDFIRE. They recently released an EP last fall, and Erica, do you want to go ahead and start by introducing yourself, what you do in the band, and what the band's all about?
Yeah, my name's Erica. I'm a songwriter for the band. I also sing and I play guitar live, but I play a lot of different instruments on the recordings. And the band is basically, the songs are written by my brother and I, and we've been doing this since we were little kids, writing songs together and recording. And the music's just, I used to check it out, but it's kind of like dream pop alternative, I guess, is the most basic way to describe it.
So when did the deal with Warner Brothers happen? I believe it was sometime last year, and is that what inspired the EP release?
Yeah, that deal happened just last year, that was the first release with Warner Brothers, was our EP that we just came out with, and that's leading up to the full-length album that will be coming out this year. Those songs will be on the new record, and that album is going to be called Young Heart.
Okay. I wasn't aware that the full-length album had a title yet, and that was actually going to be my next question. It's very cool to hear. So you say the songs from the EP will appear on the full-length album as well?
Yeah, I just kind of put something out that's kind of leading up and getting people interested in the full-length album. But yeah, those will be on there.
Okay. So if you could describe the album or just the EP in one word, what would that be?
I guess I would say anthemic. A lot of the songs are, there seems to be a theme running through the record about just kind of living your life to the fullest and enjoying it, but you never know what tomorrow could bring. And I don't think we really set out with that theme, but a lot of the songs have that energy throughout the record. And one of the songs on the album is called Young Heart, and that's what we kind of named the album that.
Alright, that's really cool to hear. And the song Waves, that's my personal favorite off of the EP so far. Is there any certain inspiration behind that song?
That song, that is actually about just life's ups and downs and relating to the movement of the ocean. And we actually just shot a video for that in Death Valley just a few days ago, and that was a really fun experience. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's like beautiful locations, and that's actually one of my favorite songs on the record too. It's I just love the vibe of it and feeling of it. It's kind of like a disco song a little bit with the beat, but it's kind of dark a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. That's the same vibe I've been getting from it as well. Now, being brother and sister, you and Bruce, how did BLONDFIRE have its origins, and what was the time period that BLONDFIRE was formed?
It's hard to say when it first began, because since we're brother and sister, we kind of started playing instruments when we were young together, and just we both started out in piano. Our mom put us, and our sister all played piano, and I played violin, and we all kind of were, doing that kind of thing. But then when I discovered bands like the Smiths and cool bands, I guess, through older friends, I started wanting to play the guitar, and I started just teaching myself in my bedroom on my dad's old classical guitar. And then my brother started playing drums, and then he quickly switched to guitar, and he never put it down, and he would play and play and play. He's an amazing guitar player. So we would make up songs together and just, practice together and start writing. And then once he started writing songs, he got some simple recording gear to start out with. And, we were living in Michigan. We're half Brazilian, but we grew up a lot of time in Michigan because that's where our dad was from. And it's just cold in Michigan and there's not much to do. So we would just write a lot of songs and record, and just kept going from there.
When you started writing the songs, did any of the early songs make it on to your debut album that came out back in 2008, My Someday?
Yeah, we've been doing it for so long that, we have hard drives full of music. It's a funny thing, because we are brother and sister, and we started so young. But those were all done on our own. We produced them ourselves and everything, My Someday, and I'm still proud of those songs and stuff too. It's funny that it's cool to listen back to the older stuff we've done, and I still like all that stuff, and but I can also hear us hopefully growing.
With each release, you're growing a little bit, and the music's progressively, becoming more mature as you do as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know Alt Nation has been like a huge factor in like the success of Where the Kids Are, the single. Have there been a lot of other stations that have been picking up the single as well and playing it?
Yeah, it's getting played on stations all over the country, which is really exciting, but they definitely, Sirius XM, All Nation really had a big effect on us. We weren't signed when they picked up the song, and it started charting next to all these like big bands, and I think people really took notice of that, and it's been such a cool thing that we love those guys, and they're all like such sweet people on top of it. So yeah, we're really thankful for that.
Your tour with AWOL Nation is about to start, and how can you describe a live show for us? Like, what kind of atmosphere is it, and what do you try to bring to the table when you're up on stage?
We just try to obviously entertain people, but definitely just try to recreate the songs live and what they sound recorded as much as possible. And I play electric guitar live, and we have some backing tracks because the electronic part of the music, is important to us to have there too. But yeah, just trying to recreate what we have on the record as best we can, and set that same mood and of the vibes of the song that we set out to do.
Now it's time for the interview takeover, and this is the part where, Erica, I'm going to have you ask me 3 questions. You're going to be interviewing me. So what would you like
Oh my God.
What would you like to ask me? 3 questions.
So how did you get involved in like interviewing bands? Like what brought you to like be interested in doing this?
Well, it started a few years ago actually. I started an album review channel on YouTube, and I've actually only interviewed a few bands. I believe you're probably the 4th that I've done so far, and I've been...
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I've been trying to get into that more and more. I recently launched like my own website, albumreviewtv.com, and it started with music reviews, and my passion for music pretty much took me to where I am and led me to wanting to interview and talk to bands and that sort of thing.
That's awesome. What else can I ask you? What's your favorite band you've been discovered recently, or like what are you listening to right now?
Well, discovered recently, let's see. Well, I had heard of you guys as early as the beginning of 2012. I heard the single Where the Kids Are, but recently I actually have been listening to your EP a lot. I've actually been listening to I've been listening to AWOL Nation's album that came out, I believe, in 2011. I've been listening to a little bit of everything. I like to keep my options very varied, to mix it up so I can review a lot of different things. But anything from BLONDFIRE, the story so far, Lily Allen, it's really all over the place.
Awesome. So are you going to come to, hopefully you can come to some of the shows of AWOL Nation. I don't know where actually you live, but that would be awesome.
I'm actually in North Carolina, and I was planning on asking you that right after this. I was going to ask, what's it going to take for me to be able to maybe do like a meet and greet or actually get to meet you guys after the show?
Of course. Yes, of course you can come and meet us for sure. And just hit up our manager and we'll, or call me or text me, and we'll make sure that we can say hi and meet each other.
Definitely. And I believe the show is going to be at the Orange Peel in Asheville. I believe that's what I saw. I actually didn't know when I was about to start, when I asked you guys if I could interview you, I didn't know that the show was going to be happening in North Carolina, and I saw that and I was like, well, I definitely got to ask if I'm going to be able to meet them or not after the show.
Definitely. For sure. You have to. You have to come.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Erica, for chatting with me today. If you want to catch the band on tour, BLONDFIRE, they're going to be touring this spring with AWOL Nation. All the links and the information to the band's website, all the tour dates are in the link in the description below. Thank you, Erica, and I wish the best to BLONDFIRE in the future. Thanks for chatting with me today.
Thank you so much. Take care.